What does it mean to be successful? And how do we measure success? Both great questions that none of us really know the answer to. Success can be difficult to measure and define, as there's no quantitative way to actually measure how successful someone is. Now, most of us assume that winning is the definition of success, but I believe that the meaning of success is different for everyone because it has to do with our own personal aspirations and goals. I believe as well that most of our successes are also as a result of certain setbacks and obstacles that we have faced and overcome in life. And it is because of these setbacks and failures in life that allow us to reflect, learn, and move forward and grow as individuals. Hi everyone, my name is Sophie, and I'm excited to have this opportunity to share my chapel speech with you. In both sports and academics, we all love to win, and quite frankly, I would be a little bit surprised if anyone came up to me and told me that they hated coming in first place. But while winning a race or a tournament is extremely exciting and rewarding, we automatically assume that winning and being successful are the same when in reality they are not. Everyone goes through failures in life, but it is important that we recognize how these failures contribute to the person we are today. Through challenges, it creates perseverance and resilience, both crucial traits that are necessary for achieving success. It is also important to note that your personal concept of success may be redesigned at any time. That is, we do not necessarily have to maintain the same definition throughout our lives. Success right now, to many of us, might mean getting into the #1 university or the type of job you get. In the next 10 years, it could be based on your financial status, and in the years after, it can be making sure you spend enough time with loved ones and traveling the world to create new experiences. At the end of the day, it's important to acknowledge our own achievements and be proud of our personal accomplishments. What we have accomplished or not accomplished in the past has defined who we are today. I started skiing at the age of 4, and later on in my life, I decided it was a sport that I wanted to pursue at a high level. My ski journey was anything but smooth sailing, but the lessons and setbacks I encountered along the way shaped me into becoming a more resilient person today. When I was 10, I had surgery to repair a damaged meniscus. For those of you that don't know, the meniscus is a C-shaped pad of cartilage that acts as a shock absorber for your knee. All I can say is that for an aspiring skier, having a bad meniscus was the worst injury you could have endured. I never anticipated that surgery would impact me mentally. I was on crutches for 6 weeks, and at the time, not being able to play tag with my friends at lunchtime felt like my world was falling apart. Just when I thought that I was out of the woods, I had surgery again a year later because I had a tear in my meniscus, which needed to be fixed. I was once again in a knee brace and crutches for 6 weeks, and even though this was only temporary, having surgery and not being able to be active at a young age really impacted me mentally. 2 years after my second surgery, I decided to join my middle school ski team. Okay, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first joined the team, I honestly thought I was amazing. And I was upset to find out that I was actually put in the worst group. I went home and cried, and I didn't want to ski anymore. I automatically assumed that I was a failure and that there was no point in even trying because I was never going to be the best. My dad played on the Canadian Olympic soccer team and played for Canada at the Pan Am Games. So as his eldest daughter, I felt that I was letting myself and him down. He always said, if you want something, you have to go for it and don't let anything stop you. It took a lot of convincing since honestly I did not believe in myself, but I continued my season on the team and was happy to find out that I qualified for our end-of-season tournament with only 6 girls. I really put faith in believing that if you work hard enough for something, you will achieve it. As I got older, the racing and training got more intense as my level of skiing got better and better. In 2019, I found myself racing against all other international schools across Switzerland down the Lauberhorn, which was the most famous World Cup ski course. I ended up coming 4th in my Super G race and was less than half a second away from 3rd place. Being an extremely competitive person, you can imagine the frustration I felt. Being so close, yet so far from having a podium finish and medal that said, Category B Girls, 3rd place, Super G. This was a disappointment, but what I did not realize was that even though I came in 4th, I did well enough for my coach to select me to compete in Bormio, Italy at the U16 FIS English Alpine Championships, where I would be racing against all U16 athletes in Western Europe. But like many other sports, skiing is mentally and physically very challenging, and it took rigorous physiotherapy sessions due to my ongoing knee constraints in order to be deemed physically capable to participate in this challenging race. In the end, even though I was physically fit, mentally, I was scared that my knee would not withstand the intensities of some of these upcoming races. I ended up placing 27th out of 54 girls in my giant slalom race. Now, some of you may think that this is a terrible result, but I was happy with myself, and my version of success was measured not by what place I came in, but the fact that I competed in one of the most challenging races in Europe and was competing against all other top athletes across Europe. I was also proud that my coach was confident enough to sponsor me as a skier and that I was capable of representing him and my team to race against all of these amazing skiers. The excitement of these races and my successful performance were unfortunately short-lived. After this race, I underwent an emergency surgery to once again repair my meniscus, but this time, my doctor told me that it was so badly damaged that there was no way to repair it and that I would now be placed on a donor list for a meniscus transplant. He also told me that ski racing was officially off the table. As luck would have it, my donor tissue came in the first week of my senior year, moving into boarding. While many of you may think that this was very unlucky, I was extremely grateful for this donor tissue, and I'm one of the only people from my age category that have undergone a surgery like this. And yes, I was in fact the girl that was riding around on the bedazzled scooter for 6 weeks this past September. I was, and still am, devastated that my ski career is over, and I'm still trying to come to terms with the fact that I will never ski race again. I became extremely possessive over my ski equipment and clothing. You can even ask my younger sister about the number of arguments that we would get into because I would not let her borrow my poles or my ski jacket. But I am, however, extremely grateful that I've been given the opportunity to have full use of my knee that will still allow me to ski recreationally. I'm incredibly proud of my accomplishments, for the learning lessons and the people that I've met along the way. I realized that overcoming personal disappointments at an early stage in my life has helped me develop as a person and become more resilient. As a society, we tend to focus too much on achievement, therefore placing little emphasis on how we overcome setbacks and obstacles. For the S1s, if you don't get the leadership role you wanted or a part in the play, you have two options. You can dwell on your supposed failure, or you can understand that it is okay if you do not get the role you want, because failure is the key to success. And with each setback, you learn something different. Maybe not getting that leadership role allows you to join a club that allows you to discover something different about yourself and opens up new opportunities for you to become successful in the near future. And to the S2s, as we now begin to enter the realities of the real world, to know that you are going to experience failures and there are going to be circumstances and variables that we cannot control or anticipate. But overall, it is how we choose to deal with these obstacles that better prepares us to become successful people. Now will you please rise and sing hymn number 135, Called by Earth and Sky.